Hello students, I am your biology teacher. Today we are going to discuss about the topic transport of food and minerals in plants. And we already know that roots of the plants are absorbing water from the soil and that reaching into different parts of the plants. Without water, plants are not able to grow. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss about different process depending upon the process of transport of food and minerals in plants. And the learning objectives of the chapter are 1. Transport system in plants, absorption of water and minerals, conduction of water and minerals in plants, transpiration, and importance of minerals in plants. The transport system is mainly needed for two main reasons. And look at that, what are the two main reasons of transport system? Or what is the need of that main reason, two main reasons related with the transport system? First one is, it is helping for the transport of water and minerals absorbed by the roots from the soil. And second, for transport of food to different part of the plants. And we know that water is absorbing from the soil. Along with that water, minerals and nutrients also absorbing. After that absorption, these water molecules are reaching into the roots, and from that roots, this water molecule is reaching into different parts of the plants through the process of transport or transport of plants or transportation. And in this process of transportation, in plants, this is very less, that means a less complex process are that comparing with animals. And we know that all living things, this type of process are going on inside of the body or in the plant parts or in all the systems. But comparing with the animals, transportation in plants is less complex. And because of the help of two developed systems are present in the plants. And these systems of plants are called vascular system, and vascular system consists of two special types of tissues. That means these two special types of tissues are always helping to the plants for the process of transportation. And the tissue names are xylem and phloem. Now look at that. What is the meaning of xylem and what is the meaning of phloem and what are the components are present there? Xylem is composed of tracheids, vessel elements, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. And phloem consists of seed tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. I repeat, xylem and phloem are the two vascular tissues in plants, and these tissues have an important role for the process of transportation of water. And the tissues are composed of xylem composed of tracheids, vessel elements, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. And phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. And what is the need of this transportation in plants? Now we are going to discuss about what is the need or what are the main two aspects of transportation in plants. First one, absorption, and second is conduction. Absorption means absorption of water and dissolved minerals. Water is also in the form of water molecules, and in that water molecules already minerals and nutrients are dissolved. So that's called absorption. Absorption is the first process. With the help of root hairs, roots are absorbing, And after the absorption, next process is conduction. Conduction means that is started that conduction of water and dissolved minerals from the root to different part of the plants. That means that's reaching into the leaves, and leaves are using that for the process of photosynthesis, transpiration, etc. After that, the water molecules are reaching into all, that means different parts of the plants like flowers, fruits, etc. And related with this transportation, two processes are also there. And what are the two processes are related with the transportation system in plants? Diffusion and osmosis. First one is diffusion. These are the two important processes of transportation: diffusion and osmosis. Look at that figure. Figure 1.5 is showing the process of diffusion. And in first, that particles are moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration. That means in first figure is showing the movement is started, and second figure is showing that particles are equally distributed into the solution. What is the meaning of this figure? That means water molecules are moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. According to that, we can say that diffusion means, that means it is a process in which molecules move from the region of their higher concentration to the lower concentration. Next is a process of osmosis. And look at that. What is the definition of osmosis? Osmosis and diffusion, both are some similarities there, but one thing is different. That means, look at that. What is the definition of osmosis? After we will discuss what is the difference and what are the similarities. Osmosis means the movement of water molecules from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration. This much the definition is same like that diffusion. After that, one thing is there, through semi-permeable membrane. That means the movement of water molecules from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane. That means in the process of osmosis, semi-permeable membrane is there. And the figure is also showing that sugar molecules and water molecules are there, and the concentration of that are different. Sugar solution is concentrated, and one is the dilute sugar solution is there, and one is a concentrated solution. That means from the higher concentration of sugar solution, that means moving that water molecules from higher region to the lower region through a semi-permeable membrane. So these are the two processes related with the transportation. Then after transportation, next process is conduction. Now that means the plants are already, that means the root part of the plant, the root system, that means root hairs, roots, and these parts are involved in the process of transportation. That means already that's absorbed the water from the soil, and now they started to move. That means conduction of water and minerals in plants. How that is possible? Look at that. The transport of substances from one part of the plant to another is called conduction. So that process, that means movement of substances, water molecules, minerals, and nutrients from one part of the plant to another part of the plant. That process is called conduction. The conduction of water in plants is already discussing with the help of that diagram. One diagram figure is given there, 1.11, and that figure is showing that conduction of water in plant, how this is happening. Roots are absorbing, first one from the below of bottom of the figure, look at that. Roots are absorbing water from the soil by the process of osmosis, and that water molecules are reaching into the stem part, and root pressure is helping to the movement of that, and cell sap is also there, and from there the stem that is reaching into the leaves, and from the leaves moving to the different parts of the plants like that flowers, fruits, etc. And this conduction of water and minerals absorbed by the roots can be explained in terms of ascendosap and root pressure. That means the process of conduction of water and minerals is mainly depending to two processes, and that two process we can explain in the terms of ascendosap and root pressure. First one is the ascent of sap. This is the process of upward conduction of cell sap from the roots to the other plant parts against gravity. I repeat, ascendosap means the process of upward conduction of cell sap from the roots to the other parts of the plant against gravity. So this is the first process related with the conduction. That means ascendosap is helping for the process of conduction, that means movement of water through the plants. Next one, that means next process related with the conduction is root pressure due to continuous inflow of water. Now already that process is started with the help of ascendosap and root pressure. And what is the role of root pressure? Now look at that. Due to continuous inflow of water, a pressure is developing, and this pressure in the roots, that means in the root part of the plant, one pressure is developing, and that pressure is helping to the upward movement of plant sap. This pressure is known as a root pressure. Due to a continuous inflow of water, a pressure is developing, and that pressure is helping to the upward movement of plant sap. That's called root pressure. Now next process is related with the transport of minerals in plants is transpiration. That means how this water, absorbed water, is helping to the other process of plants. Transpiration is also one of the process, and for the this process water molecules are helping. And now before that, look at that, what is the meaning of transpiration? Transpiration means plants lose extra water through their leaves by the process of transpiration, and some factors is also affecting to the rate of transpiration. Before that, once again, what is transpiration? Transpiration means a loss of water. That means plants are leaving or removing extra water from the plant body through their leaves. That process is known as transpiration. And transpiration means, do you know that this water is not coming into the form of a real, that water drops on like that. Water is coming into the form of water vapor that we can't able to see through our naked eyes, but we can feel. For example, in hot weather, we are standing under the tree, then we are feeling like that cool. So this feel of cool because of the reason of transpiration. That means in plants, transpiration process is going on. That means leaves are removing extra water from the plants through the leaves in the form of water vapor. And we know that plants are absorbing water, and maximum water molecules are absorbing. Roots are absorbing maximum water molecules from the soil. But this much water is no needed for the process of plants, and little bit is only needed for the process of photosynthesis, transpiration, and like that. But the extra water is there after using the water for different process of plants. The extra water is removing from the plants through the process of transpiration. Now clear know what is transpiration? And next, in this process of transpiration, all the time, every day, all according to the weather condition like that, the rate of transpiration is going to be changed. And look at that, what are the factors are affecting for this changes? That means The factors affecting to the rate of transpiration are 5. According to your syllabus, 5 factors are there. One is temperature, then relative humidity, then wind, light, and available soil water. For example, temperature. In hot weather, we know that the water, extra water, the presence of sunlight, lot of water will be lost from the leaves. Then relative humidity is also there according to the humidity in the atmosphere. Then wind, light, available soil water. So these are the different factors affecting to the rate of transpiration. It means sometimes the transpiration rate become high, sometimes that will become low because of these factors are affecting. Clear? And now we are going to the last content of this chapter. That means plants need some minerals also for their growth and development. And according to this process, the plants, that means root part of the plant, root is absorbing minerals also from the soil. And this mineral is very important for the growth and development of plants. Plants need some minerals for their growth and development. They are called plant nutrients. And these plant nutrients are divided into two types. And look at that, what are they? Macronutrient and micronutrients. And look at macro and micro. Macro means the meaning is showing that macro, big, micro, small. So micronutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the examples of macronutrients. Micronutrients, iron, magnesium, and zinc. These are the examples of micronutrients. This is the last content of the chapter. And I'm going to wind up the lesson. Thank you.